Hello, beautifuls. This is Erin Noel, the voice of Alita. Welcome to my Facebook Live right at the sunset tonight. You can kind of see it behind me. There were some really beautiful sun rays a moment ago, but I'm so glad we're catching the glorious sun, the golden sun. So if you have never caught me before, welcome. I'm so happy to connect with you here. Please announce yourself, say hello, let me know you're watching. And if you're catching me on a replay, then same thing. Say hello, I'll circle back and converse with you just as if you were live here today. And for those of you who have caught my lives before, I'm so happy to see you again and for us to continue this relationship. But tonight, I have a very simple message for you. You know, we tend to need things to learn or practices to help us to tune in further. And those things are really, really great. We also sometimes look for things outside of us, like better friendships or a sisterhood circle or family members to just really feel that, wholeness possibly, and that you have that support there. But I am here to tell you that you really don't require anything else for you to feel completely, absolutely satisfied, fulfilled, in joy, and love with you and the life that you have. It's you. That is the only thing that you need. And when we are dealing with circumstances around us, or we feel like there's a lack, a missing of something, and we feel that gap, we feel that yearning for something more, yes, that's absolutely natural. We're human beings. But the truth is, you don't need it in order to really complete you or to complete your life. And that has been one of the biggest things I think I've learned in the last few years of my journey, is that it's about really finding who you are, being able to bring out the parts of you that maybe have been tucked away, or that you've been possibly fearful of showing or bashful of showing, or that it's not permissible. But when we can learn how to really bring those things up because we're honoring them, number one, but number two, that we feel safe in doing so, then that is when you actually feel your greatest, because there's no covering up there. There's no compromising there. There's no holding back because you're worried about what other people might think or how you're going to be accepted. Whether you're on a quest through multiple countries, you're just out exploring and enjoying, really, truly, you can do that on your own, feeling so satisfied, so equipped, and so in love with your experience, because you have dialed in to who you are at the core level, and you understand her. You absolutely understand her. You can feel the heartbeat of your soul. You have a commune with that spirit, the essence of you. You know how to listen to her, respond to her, honor her. And when it comes to, working with others and partnering, or in your family, being able to really express who you are. We feel the best when we're not hiding any aspects of ourselves, right? In your workplace, you can feel the most fulfilled when you know you are honoring the gifted you, the one that has the fire, the soul of you, instead of just conforming or fulfilling a role or doing tasks that you've been told to do, and you should somehow feel that reward or that pat on the back for doing X, Y, and Z. When really our true reward, the true pat on the back, comes from you knowing who you are at the core of you, you knowing that you're showing up at your highest level possible, meaning the essence of you, the aspects of you are coming through, and you're using them, you're showing them, you're showcasing them, you're using them in service. That's when we can feel the most joy and gratitude for ourselves. So all of this sounds great, right? All of this sounds like probably something that you've already heard before, right? Be yourself, love yourself, go out and do what's calling you, just go. But how do you actually truly get there? How do you actually feel that deep communion with yourself when possibly through many chapters of your life you have been reacting and doing what you're supposed to do? How do you really find the real you? And that's a great question. That is actually the one that you want to answer. It's not, how do I feel better, or how do I make a change? How do I make a move? How do I find, my purpose? What you want to ask is, how do you get to the depths of yourself and know what's true, and how you then can show up in those truths? How do you show up in that strength in these different environments, in these different arenas, in these different relationships, different circumstances? Because not until you actually know how to do that are you going to feel like you're being you. Are you going to feel like you're actually whole, Let's take a mother who is super busy managing the household. In this day and age, she probably has a career, a passion that she's working on. She's bringing in an income. There might even be some kind of financial responsibility where she feels like she needs to provide and put on the table. And there's a lot of doing. There's a lot of go, go, go. There's a lot of checking things off the list. And she could be absolutely fabulous being the star wife, being the mighty woman, Wonder Woman mom. She might be the most fabulous homemaker. She has a great image. She totally can pull it off. But is she really fulfilled? Is she really at the core of herself feeling like she's living a life that is firing up every day, and it's not a chore to get out of bed? She's exhilarated for the life that she's living here and now. So what's the difference between the one who's got it all figured out and showing up all over the place and accomplishing, versus the one who also is doing all that, but really truly at the core loves who she is and knows that there's no part of her that feels icky, like she's just doing something because she's supposed to, doing it because it satisfies her family, doing it because that's all she knows. Maybe there's a part of her that's starting to feel like, gosh, this has been really great. I've been able to check off A, B, and C, and I have a great husband. We're a cute couple. We have good-looking kids. We live in a nice house. But I don't feel great. I feel like there's something missing in my life, and that is killing me. Trying to figure out what is wrong when everything looks picture perfect. And the answer to that is she hasn't really let herself come out. She's been molded based on her circumstances and the standards around her, not really communing with herself and knowing how to stand up for those parts of her that she's uncovering. And that's why I get so passionate about the work that I do, because this is what so many women experience, and they feel stuck. They don't know how to get out. They only know how to operate in what they've created, crafted. So how do they get to those parts of themselves that they don't have time for, they haven't given themselves time for? How does she really understand a truth versus just the storyline that she so perfectly is acting in. And not an act like pretend really, but just really she's jumped right into this role and she's doing great at it, but she doesn't at the core of her really feel like it's cutting it, you know? So when I work with women, we get to those places that really need to be revealed about what is the storyline versus what is the truth. What has been her operation? What is that based on? And we're always surprised about what we actually find there. But at the same time, it's such a huge sigh of relief because for the very first time in her whole life, what she needs to know, what she actually needs to see, what she must see in order to get to this place of true fulfillment and joy is revealed to her. And now there's something to actually shift, to work on, to understand, and bring that to the forefront of her life, to make that the focal piece. See, that's why I started this and labeled this live as there's nothing else that you need. It's not the things outside of you. It's not taking another class. It's not getting another certification. It's not changing jobs. It's not having another hard conversation with her husband about why she feels so exhausted and possibly alone. What is required first, she has. She has. It's just that she hasn't been able to maybe see it yet. Maybe she doesn't actually taste it, know it, understand it on a very deep level, on a very cellular level. But she has everything that she needs already with her in order to feel completely satisfied, fulfilled, and full of joy every single day and in every single moment. And if you are in this place right now of seeking, of looking for things around you to fix, to correct, to enhance your life, then pause right now. Because that means you continue to look for things outside of you to paint over what's currently happening. It's a Band-Aid. It doesn't mean that you don't get some kind of relief or some kind of lesson or some kind of perspective that doesn't serve you. I'm not saying that. But what is absolutely required, if you bring it down to the bare brass nails, is that you have everything that is required to feel at peace, to have that inner calm, to have that poise and that confidence and joy for everything that you're experiencing already inside of you. And so now it's actually understanding what that is that's lying inside of you that you have. To get intimate with that space, to commune with her. And when you are able to see her with a lens that you have never had before, it's the most glorious thing. Because now you will know it in an instant when I say it. If we're in a session together and I say, when we start uncovering and really we get into what is the truth, and I say it, you will know it by the way that it sounds. Your body will immediately tell you, yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. And then things begin to shift so beautifully. Inside, the way you feel, the way you then begin to operate and command things from that place will shift your outside circumstances. It will begin to give you that sense of complete satisfaction, control of your life, and a yes, a knowing, an absolute knowing. You've got this because you know exactly what you're creating, you know exactly what you want, and you know exactly how to call it into your life. You know how to handle any situation that comes, even as a surprise, because you know her so well. You know the power that you hold, that you are. You are beautiful, you are gorgeous, and you have everything that you need already inside of you. And so now it's about identifying it and calling it out so that that becomes the staple, the focal point, the operation for everything else in your life. So I'll repeat it again. If you are looking for things outside of you, possibly to change, to shift things up, and believe me, you know, we're getting to the end of a year. Everybody is in this contemplation mode, if not already, very soon, about how to improve their life, what things they need to do in order to feel better. And they're going to start looking for things outside of them that they need to change or they can add. But again, it's only going to be that temporary relief that they feel or satisfaction that they feel. And really what's required is going deep inside, understanding that first, because it's all right there. All right? So I hope this was a message that hit you, that made you just stop and pause for a minute and maybe think about something or confirm something you've already been thinking. And if you're really wanting to understand her, the deeper aspects of you, then you're in the right place. Because that's exactly what I help women do. And so reach out to me if you'd like to talk further, if you'd like to connect about some things. I'm here. I'm here for you. So again, you are beautiful, you are gorgeous, and you have everything you need already inside of you. And so now it's about actually seeing what that is. Talk to you guys soon.